Hi, hello, welcome to Monday. Oh, the first word I've read in the chat is the word smart. Is he doing more dates? Who? Who are we talking about? Mayor? Well, hang on a minute. Oh, Daniel Kitson. I see. Which one are you watching? What are you watching? I want to join in. Anyway, good evening. How are your Mondays? I just can't quite get my head around what's happening on the other side of the world when we do this. Is it Tuesday morning for you or Sunday morning? I don't understand. Anyway, happy day, whichever one it might be. This light's a bit directional, isn't it? That's better. I've got a whole face now. Oh, it's Tuesday morning. Okay, so you're in the future. Hi, happy Tuesday morning. I hope your Mondays were well. Those of us that still have a couple of hours of Monday left, hello to us. I've had an eventful day. I've got a lot done today. I'm feeling pretty good. I think I have woodworm, not in me. I'm not made of wood. Not anymore. Not since I went to that island and everybody turned into donkeys. I haven't even had any sugar, although yesterday I ate most of a strudel. But yes, I think I've got woodworm. There's a little hole in my knife block, and then there's dust on the other side of it. So I think that's woodworm, isn't it? So I've bought some spray to fix that. Fuck knows if it'll work. I don't really. Can you spray woodworm spray onto like varnished wood? Because mainly I just don't want to get it into my table. I think I've seen cartoons where like a table just collapses because the woodworm have been in there. So that's what I want. Is that throw it out now? Oh really? Oh crap! I only just bought it. Oh, okay. Right, okay. I'll throw it out. I just don't want them to get into my table, that's all. I like my table. But they might not have come with the knife block. They might have, I mean, where do they come from? I don't know. I don't know anything about woodworm. I sort of thought it was one of those things that were like a bit fictional, you know? I bought it from Pro Cook. Not that I'm slagging them off. I don't know if the woodworm was their fault, but that's where I got the knife block from. I bought some spray anyway. I'll spray it with spray and see if it doesn't get any more holes. Let's have a see. As long as I've inspected the table and I can't see them in my table. Yeah, I'm not thrilled about this idea. So anyway, that's what I've been up to, and I've walked Mackie, and I've got lots of writing done, and I've taught some stand-up today. Oh, I've been all over it. And also got my shiny new website. Don't know if any of you have seen it, but it's all very sparkly and new, and people can order books from it, which is very exciting. So I'm pleased about that. And yeah, I've had lots of orders for books, which has been really nice. Link it in the chat. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. How do I do that? Bear with me. Can't type and talk at the same time. Oh no, I feel like I need to run downstairs right now and it'll be fine. Hey, isn't it exciting, the fact that all my stuff might be broken tomorrow? I'm sure there's a cartoon where a woodworm like goes through. There you go. That's my website. Enjoyed me on Twitch drunkenly saying you would murder people and eat them for sustenance. Oh yeah, I played Among Us on the internet last night. I'd never heard of Among Us before this started, and I'm not a very technical person at all. And then crikey, O'Reilly, that was difficult. And I liked the general consensus of finding the murderer. That was like werewolf, but the bit in the middle where you had to run around doing tasks, I didn't understand that in the slightest, but I'd also had quite a lot of red wine. So the website is courtesy of Dave Natras, by the way, who occasionally joins us to watch and sometimes comments. So big thumbs up if you see his name flying around. He's done an amazing job and put up with me dilly-dallying. Yes, Kira, I've got your order. I'm going to sit down and do orders tomorrow morning, which is exciting. I was sulky when I was murdered. I was very sulky. I was. I've got a busy week. So if you're bored and stuck for stuff to do this week and you don't get enough of me in book club, tomorrow night I'm playing Werewolf on Twitch, on John Gracie's channel. On Wednesday, I'm being interviewed by Emma Kennedy about the writing of Klopp, actually. And then I'm dashing over to the Queer Culture Club to do a set for them. And then on Thursday, I'm cheating on you. I'm going to another book club. What? Stevie Martin does a book club, so I will be there from 7 till 8, and obviously we will be here Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. So it's funny because I think you're a few seconds behind me with the chat. So like after I've said something contentious, then I see you all getting mad at, oh no, I just heard Tom go in the bathroom and then Mackie's dinged her bell. There might be wee on something by the time I get downstairs. Oh, Tim Minchin concert Thursday night. Yeah. Oh my God, I love Tim Minchin so much. But hello, everybody. It's so nice to be back. I like having the weekends off for a bit of a break, but then I do get to Monday and I'm like, woohoo, what should we do? So your chapter, what did you vote on? Oh, yeah, it was whether or not there were housemates. And there was quite a lot of discussion about whether it was going to be a cat or not. So there might have to be a vote a little bit later as to whether Kate gets a pet, but I just feel like giving her a load of cats right now is a bit stereotypical. So you voted on a housemate, and it was pretty close, not too close, but it was pretty close. So let's launch into chapter 7, shall we? I think you're going to like this chapter. I hope so. It's got elements of Emma in it. I've been pushing for talking animals for months. Talking animals. Oh, well, now that would be a direction I did not see this story going in. Anyway, chapter 7. Kate woke up with an unspecified saggy feeling in her stomach that she couldn't link to anything. Perhaps she'd had a nightmare and this was a dream hangover. Not an uncommon occurrence for Kate, who slept badly at the best of times, but she couldn't remember even the slippery tail end of a dream, so she doubted it was that. Interview with the Vampire lay on the bedside table glaring at her. Perhaps it was the book. Maybe if she opened it and started reading, she would get a little kick of achievement and feel better about her life. She picked it up. The cover was so glossy and shiny. She opened the cover page and put the book down again. No, she was too hungry to start reading first thing in the morning. Tea and breakfast first. She padded downstairs to the empty kitchen and flicked on the kettle. She loved her kettle. Insulated walls and a setting for different temperatures, which she never used, but was sure the day she did use it, she'd feel like buying the most expensive one was a good idea. She flopped a bagel into the toaster and then scrolled through Instagram while waiting for breakfast to be ready. A text message popped up from Polly. Are you all right if we pay for you to get a cab home tonight rather than giving you a lift back, or do you want to stay over? XOXO. The annoyed feeling in Kate's stomach intensified, and she finally had that light bulb moment of realization as to what her problem was. Babysitting. Why was it annoying her so much? She loved Polly's children, and she owed Polly hundreds, if not thousands of pounds, so one evening every month or so babysitting, for which they also paid her despite her debt, was not really much to ask. She poured water on the tea bag and pondered the feeling. It was the assumption that she would just happily do it with nothing that wouldn't be cancelled. It's hugs, Ben. It's like a hug. Gross. But she likes them. But then that assumption wasn't exactly inaccurate, was it? Sure, she'd sort of lined up a date with Grim, but she wasn't devastated to have done that, and she checked her phone. He hadn't even replied to her text by now, so it didn't seem like he was anywhere pining away either. She wanted to be mad at Polly, but really, she was angry with herself for not having more going on, and it wasn't Polly's fault, she knew it. There. That was the bottom of the unspecified mucky feeling, but seeing the bottom didn't make it feel any less gross. She squeezed the tea bag and removed it from the cup, buttered the bagel and went back to bed. Interview with the Vampire sat on the side still. Kate looked at it. That would help, surely. She was going to start reading the damn book. Yes, it wasn't much, but it was something. She would have done something today. So when Polly looked at her and said casually, "What have you been up to today?" Kate could confidently say back, "I read a lot of the book for book club, an event that I go to with other adults. It's a social occasion I partake in." And they would both be very impressed with her. She picked up the book in her right hand, the bagel in her left, and started reading. Mackie's dinging the bell again. 2 hours later, it's okay. She has been let out, but she seems to have been let out, come back in, and now digging to go back out again. So, cross. 2 hours later, her stomach reminded her that she'd only had one breakfast, and it was probably time to put the book down and go and have something else to eat. She laid it carefully on the side and skipped down the stairs to the kitchen, feeling better than she had in years. What on earth had stopped her from reading all this time? She'd been lost for 2 hours in a world that was vivid and interesting and exciting, 2 whole hours out of her own drab existence and stretching her mind on thoughts and ideas she would never ever have got to just from work or scrolling her phone. She put her kettle back on and preheated the oven, searching through her freezer drawers for something she could easily cook. A ready meal lay inviting in its simplicity in the bottom drawer, and she pierced the seal and threw it in the oven before prancing back up the stairs to read until it was cooked. The story drew her back in immediately, and she held the paper in her hand, and she willingly let her mind wake back up again into the world within the ink. I am going to have to pause and check where Tom is because Mackie's going crazy. Bear with me. Yeah, she's going crazy on the bell. Okay, well, that's never happened before. A slight interlude. It turns out Tom was outside and she was just jipping me off wanting to get outside to get to Tom. The clock is dead. Tom borrowed the batteries because he's doing Noise Next Door online again, and now he has to do Sims Next Door again. This will mean nothing to a lot of you, but it's really hard getting back up in the loft. Oh, God. Okay. Sorry about that, everyone. Whoo! We are back. Where were we? Oh, bloody hell. Oh, if you love The Sims, yeah, he's back doing The Sims again. And Matt is also doing the New York Coffee Shop Pals, which was very funny. So do enjoy that. Okay. By the time Polly knocked on her front door to collect her, Kate was almost done. She flew out of the house, having hastily thrown on some appropriate clothing that had less food down the front of it, and plonked herself in the passenger seat. She squealed and hauled herself back up again to remove the glittery pink hairbrush that had hedgehogged itself into her bum cheeks. "Sorry," said Polly, taking the hairbrush from her and flinging it into the back seat of the car. "I let Lisa sit in the front this morning on the way to ballet. No, climbing. No, it was ballet. She must have left it there." What do you got? Oh my God, breathing. "It's fine," said Kate honestly. "Most action I've had in years." "Tell me about it," Polly laughed. Sorry again for making you rearrange your date. I'm so grateful. Ryan and I really need tonight. I hope you're not mad at me." "Not at all," Kate said, and realised she meant it. "I'll go out with Graham again on Tuesday, but I don't think there's much spark." "You're very chipper." Polly glanced at Kate very quickly, careful not to take her eyes off the road for more than a second. "I am," Kate confirmed. "I've been reading all day. I feel really relaxed." "God, I haven't started it yet. I'll have to get on it tomorrow," Polly groaned. "It's really good." Kate watched the streets passing by outside her window, enjoying the voyeurism of checking in on families that didn't close their curtains. They pulled up outside Polly's smart suburban home, and Kate was greeted by a flock of nieces and nephews in the driveway, all clamouring for hugs and attention. She felt more elated than she could ever remember being. Was this how happening... No, that needs to be deleted. Was this how stimulation and engaging in something made a person? She wondered. No wonder everybody at the university was so happy all the time. The evening passed merrily in a flurry of Play-Doh, sulks, and bedtime stories. Polly and Ryan reappeared not too long after Kate had finally packed the last of their children into bed. There was no chance any of them were asleep, but Kate decided that was a level on the caretaking duties that didn't matter to the person who was not going to be there tomorrow anyway when they were tired. She jumped in the cab home, kissing a glowing Polly goodnight and trying to block out all the extra hand-holding and winking going on between her and Ryan. She sat in the back of the cab feeling warm and dreamy. She'd passed a pleasant day in her own company, then hung out with the lovely family, and now she was going home to a good book. This was an amazing day. She opened the front door to a storm of smoke and shouting. Oh, we need an accent. Let's not do Canadian. Well, we could do Canadian. I did tell you could have Canadian, but I don't know if this character is staying, and I don't know if you'll like them. Turns out Kate has a housemate. Dutch, Japanese. Dutch and Japanese are the two votes first. Canadian for a main one, John wants. Well, I don't know who's going to stay being Canadian, you know? We've got two Dutch. Okay, we're going Dutch. Oh, that kind of fits with the name I've given them. Okay, we go. She opened the front door to a storm of smoke and shouting. Fucking woman! She could hear clattering from the kitchen, and she hesitantly placed her bag down on the hall table and scampered to the kitchen to see what was happening. Black smoke filled the kitchen and poured out of the open door and windows. Kate stood in the doorway looking in horror at the sight of Christian, her housemate, frantically and angrily waving a baking tray at the oven to try and angle the smoke out of the house. I assume this is yours? He barked at Kate, pointing to a charred black rectangle just visible through the thick smoke coming out of the oven. Oh, God, the oven meal! Kate realised with horror that she'd never gone back down to the kitchen to retrieve it. No wonder she'd pinched so many fish fingers from the kids' dinner. Smoke was stinging her eyes and catching in her throat, making her want to retch and cough at the same time. Oh, Christian, I'm so sorry, she said, choking as she inhaled to speak. I just completely forgot. Yes, David, he said. You completely forget, like you forget the rent, like you forget the cleaning, like you forget to take your key out the inside of the door so I can get back in at night, like you forget to lock the bathroom door. I'm done. I'm moving out. And with that, he slammed the oven door, dropped the baking tray into the sink with a clatter, and stalked up the stairs to bed. Yeah, ASMR was meant to be Swedish. Thanks, Lady Frag. I can't believe you can't tell the difference between my Dutch and Swedish accents. So there you go. She has a housemate. His name is Christian, and they do not get on. He wants to move out because of he wants to move out because this was the final straw, her burning the oven meal because she got so into the book. Oh, Jenny's into him. That's Dirkus's job to like the one no one else likes. But that's fine. Jenny and Dirkus, you can team up. She can get a great housemate now. Well, interesting you say that, Kira, because I want to know how Kate reacts to, that sounds like the beginning of a joke, Heartworld. I have a Dutch friend called Christian who's a singer in a heavy metal band. How does he smell? Pretty awful. I don't know. Anyway, so Christian is cross and angry and wants to move out. What does Kate do? Here are your choices. Does she beg him to stay? Does she agree he should go and advertise for a new housemate? Agree he should go and not advertise for a new housemate? Move out too? Or suggest she move out and he stays? Those are your options. Which would you like for tomorrow's episode? Does she beg him to stay? Agree he should go and advertise for a new housemate? Agree he should go and not advertise for a new housemate? Move out too? Or suggest she move out and he stays? Those are your options. Why is Jeff mad at? What's happened? Who's getting the finger? I'm so confused. Is this at Christian or me? We need to know about the lease arrangements. They have a private landlord and oh, you're giving Christian the finger. Right, okay, fair. I thought it was at me for a second. I was like, oh, all right, what a way to quit book club. The lease rate, they have a private landlord who they're on a rolling contract and they just have to give 2 weeks notice. There you go. Those are the rules. So There you go. That's your vote for tomorrow. If you're watching on catch up, you have until late afternoon on Tuesday. I will set the video up now and I'll see you tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Thanks so much for joining, everybody, and have a lovely Tuesday, whether you're in it or not quite in it. Bye.